Welcome back everybody to Automotive Inc. Today we're doing oil change on my parents' 23 Nissan Pathfinder. Now this will be the same for 22 and up with the V6, maybe excluding the new version that's coming out, but I bet it's going to be very similar if it's the same power plant. So before we get started, if you don't mind, smash the subscribe button, helps a small channel out, thumbs up and notification bell. I will link everything down below so you can find it on Zon for a little bit less money. I will also do the aftermarket filter and an OEM filter just in case you choose you want to go one way or the other. So first things first, the 23 and 22 and up Nissan Pathfinder is going to take 5 1/8 quarts. So I would recommend you buy the oil in a 5 quart just to save some money, and then buy a single quart. Again, 5 1/8 is a weird number, but it is what it is. Now, you don't need to put your vehicle up on ramps to do it. I do it simply for easy showing of people how to do it. I will tell you all the tools that you need and everything. So this is where you're going to add your oil later. I'm actually going to link a pretty cool funnel that I actually found and like. It makes oil changes a lot easier, and but you can use a standard oil funnel if you want. So let's go over and take a look at this. So I am slowly switching over all of my vehicles to Valvoline and Valvoline Premium Blue on diesels. This is Advanced Protection 0W20. So again, this is a 5 quart jug. It does cut down about $2 per quart. So if you want to buy them individually, you can. This is also suitable for hybrid vehicles. The biggest thing that the Nissan wants you to have is a GF-6 standard or higher. This is a GF7, and right above it, it says meets or exceeds all previous and prior standards. So now we're at a GF7, so we're good. But we got a 5 quart, so we had to get the 1/8 of a quart in a single quart right here, so we can set that aside. Always make sure that you're getting the exact same kind and the exact weight. And then our local auto parts store, the only filter that they had was this Mobile One M108A. They did not have the Nissan filter, but then again, the Nissan filters are, this meets or exceeds the features there. So then you're going to need a pan that at least holds up to 6 quarts. I'm going to show you the one I like. So right here, guys, this is I get this big of one because I have a diesel and it holds up to 16 quarts. But I'd recommend it even for just about anybody, as long as it fits height-wise underneath your car, because you can plug it, cap it, seal it, and then take it to your recycler. I always encourage you guys to recycle your oil properly. You can usually do that at your local auto parts store. Give them a jingle, see if they can actually take your recycled oil. They'll take it for free. What they do with it, don't care. But this pan is what I'm going to use. I will link one down below. And again, that way you can do probably, you know, a couple oil changes, maybe another oil change on a mower or something like that you need to do. So this is the pan. All right, so underneath the car, guys, Nissan does put us a little carbon or a little fiber piece here that actually is just kind of for wind and stuff. But we can see our oil drain plugs back there. So we don't want to drop oil right there because it'll get on this. And once this gets saturated, they kind of fall apart. So we need to remove this. And so this has one bolt here. That's a 10 millimeter. Then you can use a couple things here to remove these little plastic tabs. You can use a flat blade screwdriver to kind of pop them up. And you'll just kind of work around each little edge here. And these are brand new, so this car only has 10,000 miles on it. But what I like to do is I use my body panel pulling tool. I'll get them started with that screwdriver, and then I work this underneath there so I'm pulling them evenly. And then once they get popped loose, you can do that. Now, I believe that Nissan, when they did the first oil change, they didn't put these ones back in. So I will find some for my, yeah, I can guarantee it, because if we look over here, we can see that they're in there. So I have a kit. If you're missing any of those, I'll link it down below. So just pull out the 3 or 4, 5 or 6 along the back. Then this little panel will pop down. We'll take it off. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that. You don't need to be bored with that. So one 10 millimeter. And then I think we have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 maybe of these little plastic tabs. Set them aside. Don't lose them. All right. So now we're at the back. Here is your oil drain plug. It is a 14 millimeter. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. So we're going to remove this bad boy with a socket wrench. Don't use a box end wrench. Don't over tighten it when we put it back in either, because we don't want to strip that out. So at least I appreciate that they didn't strip that out. But we did set that panel aside. And then if we look kind of back in here, if it'll focus, there's our oil filter, which we'll access from this side panel here in just a second. So we're going to get the oil draining. All right, so we're just down to a slow drip. That's considered empty enough for me. We pulled out the dipstick under the hood just to make sure it's not reading anything on there. So we'll wipe that clean, even though it's dripping. That'll probably, it could drip for days, but there's not even a stream now coming down. So we're gonna go ahead and put that back in and tighten it down with the 14 mil. Now that we've got that in, guys, I'll encourage you, this specific one does not have what's called a crushed gasket. If you ever have a vehicle that has an extra little washer in there, then that goes on your drain plug, you'll need to replace that typically so it doesn't leak. Another thing I'll tell you to do is always clean off the areas around it. Make sure you don't have any residual oil that came out and splattered, especially if it was hotter, because what that can do is make you think you have a leak when you don't. You can see this bolt with that piece on there, but you don't want to see drip. So just clean it up while you're under there, because dirt will collect wherever there's an oily residue. So that was pretty clean there. Now there was an extra little piece here that had a clip in it. We're going to try and access this filter from the side here. The problem is it will drip some oil, so you decide how you want to hold this back while you're doing it. So we'll get this situated, and you're going to want to have your pan over underneath that, because some oil will come out. And then so I'm going to show you the tools I'm going to use to take it off. All right, guys, so it's a little hard to see, but there's where the filter was. And you can see as we hold this back, it's going to run right there, and it's going to run over here and drip. So be prepared for that. If you let this little carbon piece slip back, it's going to get oil all over it. So I'm just going to hold it back real quick. All right, so I just put my deep well socket right here in this thing and put it against the frame. We're going to let that drain for quite a bit. Now, the tool I used, and I'll link it down below, this just goes on a 3/8 drive, and it was easier to access this filter underneath it than it was to try and pull off this whole little panel. Lefty loosey again, you can put your 3/8 drive socket on there, or ratchet, and take it loose. Now, interesting enough, Nissan did the first oil change at 1900 miles. That filter was not tight at all. I literally just put that on there, and I just made sure that was seated and it was moving. We didn't have any leaks, so that's good, but it should be tight enough. So I'll show you that tool once I get it out. Of course, like I said, we're going to want to clean up all this residual oil that has kind of ran down everywhere. But there was quite a bit of oil that drained out of there. So we're going to let that, like I said, drain all the way out. Then once it's down to a drip, you're good as gold. All right, now that we're out of underneath the car, like I said, we're using this Mobile One filter if you're looking for the Nissan one. I'm not going to do it like this. Let's tip it here. The Nissan filter is 15208 65 FOE. And I think if I remember right, I'll link these down below. They're pretty cheap. Now on this thing, it does say that you're supposed to lube the gasket, which is normal. I'll show you what that means. And then it does say that you're supposed to turn it. Sorry, that is not my language. Here we go. So it says screw the filter more than 2/3 turn after initial contact, and then check for leaks later. Guys, it needs to be tight, so keep that in mind. And I'll link this one down in the Mobile One. It's also a good opportunity for you to take your new filter here and make sure that it is the same size, especially when it comes to the circumference. This one is a little bit taller. That's not a problem. We're not running out of room there. Now this one did come with it, and it does have some little brief instructions on it. Now, because it mounts horizontal, don't pre-fill this because it's just going to dump out and make a mess. But I'll show you what it means to lube the gasket. So every oil change, what that's going to help it do is help this kind of slide as you tighten it down. So I just give my jug them to use the little shake, and then we take the cap off. Okay, now this one has an extra seal, so we will use our finger in here and just dip it along the side. You'll get just enough oil here, and we're going to come along and just put a little film of this oil on there like that. You need a little more. Now guys, oil changes do get you greasy, so just keep that in mind. You can wear shop gloves, but I'm filming and my camera won't work while I'm doing that, so just work your way around it. That's what they mean by lubing the filter. Put the cap back on until we're ready to add the oil back in. All right, back under the car. We're down to just a drip down there. So we're going to worm this away. Keep your filter facing down just in case there's dust and dirt. We don't want to try and put it up in there first like that, because once you get in there, then you can push it in and tighten it. Now with this, it's always going to keep dripping from the filter housing. So get it basically tight and then wipe it down. So I will say this, guys, it's going to take you about 25-30 minutes to do any kind of oil change on any vehicle. Sometimes take a little bit longer. Diesels have, like, you know, 16 quarts. It takes a while to get all that out. So now I'm going to show you this really cool funnel set that I got. I'll link it down below. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's well worth it, and I'll tell you why. So here we go, guys. This one, it's not necessarily brand specific. They're all kind of like this, but I've been dying to get one of these for a long time because they come with adapters and magnetic plates, so you can stick them on your fridge. And if you see right here, they're actually labeled what manufacturer they go on. And what this does is, we'll find the Honda Nissan one. Just slide this off. And what this does is this goes down in your actual filler neck hole. So we can see this would be really hard to hold a funnel and get in here to do this. So we're going to take this cap off. And what we could see is, we'll clean that up. But what this does is allows you to screw this in the actual hole where your cap goes. And then you're less likely to just drip and spill oil all over this pig, which is always what happens. And then as the engine gets hot the first couple drives, you're going to smell oil inside. So now we got that in there, we can set our cap aside. And this thing is super ingenious, meaning it even comes with a screen if you want to filter. There are some times where people will reuse their oil. They need to drain their oil. It's brand new oil change. They need to drain their oil for something. Change a pan gasket and they want to reuse the oil. A lot of times truckers do that, or their companies will do that, so you can use that screen to filter out any garbage that you might have in there. And then look, guys, it has a valve on it. You're going to come over here and you're just going to slide it in this hole. Now, no more leaking, and look, it's holding itself up. It's a really firm connection. It has measurements on here, so if there was ever a question about how much you want to put in there, so say 1/8 of a quart, you want to be exact, this is going to put you way closer than eyeballing. So I think this is ingenious. Yes, there's somewhere in the vicinity of 26 some to whatever dollars, but it does come with a cap at the end, and then again, you can just put it back in the box. And this is an ingenious idea. So now that we have this all set up, now we're not worried about that. And then when you do pull that out, you can shut the valve off so it won't drain any more in there. And then you just pull it up. If it's going to drip, it's going to drip on your little connector, which you can clean up super easy. Now we're ready to put the oil in. So again, it's going to take 5 1/8 quarts. So I'd encourage you to do the 5 quarts initially, and then put the cap back on, set your funnel aside. If you're on ramps, once you have the 5 quarts in, back it off, and then let it sit for a few minutes. Then check it with your dipstick and see where it sits oil-wise. We don't want to put too much oil in it. Now, if you're already on flat ground, go ahead and put your 5 quarts in there. Once you get to about 4 1/2 quarts, slow down and check your dipstick quite often. But we're going to go ahead and put the 5 quarts in here and see if where the oil level is at. Now that we have our 5 quarts in, guys, we're going to fire this up. And while I have it up on the ramps, just for ease of simplicity, so I can show you where you're going to check for leaks, go ahead and just see if you have any leaks coming from the filter and or the thing. Now remember, don't over tighten your pan bolts. We don't want to strip out anything, especially on the filter. You don't use any tools. It's 1/4 turn past hand tight. So we're going to get now fire it up and look underneath it and see if we have any leaks. So bear with me, it might be loud. All right, so minus the engine running, guys, we're looking back there on our filter to see if any oil's coming out of the bottom. We're also checking our pan bolt here, making sure it's not leaking. So let it run for about 4 or 5 minutes. That'll let the new oil really cycle around. And then we'll also make sure at the end of the 5 minutes, we'll shut it off for a couple minutes and just see, because the oil will get a little bit thinner because it gets warmer. See if we see any leaks. If not, all you got to do is just reinstall your little clip here on that piece, and then you can reinstall your cover that goes here. Although, keep in mind, make sure it matches the other side. So if it goes up or under the plastics, make sure it's there. And as long as you don't have any leaks, if you have one of those new badass funnels, then you can actually measure out the 1/8, let it sit for about 10 minutes flat after you ran it, check for leaks, let it sit, wipe the dipstick off, check it, make sure you don't have any, your oil level's good. And then again, if you need to add that 1/8 and you have that funnel that measures 1/8 of a quart, you can dump your 1/8 in there, turn the valve on, and you're golden. If you're just doing the old school way, which is the dip, wait, Go very small increments. An eighth of a quart is not much. And then, like I said, just check your oil often after doing it. You know, probably once a week or so, check it. And then, yeah, and then we'll have a separate video on how to reset your oil service monitor on the Nissan. It'll be linked down below. Catch you on the next one.